Hey guys, it's Maxie here and welcome to the latest edition of the Young Team. You joined us way down the line in February, so that probably tells you how bad this season's been, that I had to take the time really just to focus and try and bottle the squad as much as we could. Unfortunately, the window wasn't too kind to us. We didn't recruit a lot. We probably didn't get as many off the books as we could. In terms of changing fortunes in the season, kinda. I still think we should be finishing in third place. That's the target. We've certainly got the games in hand to do so. But yeah, it's just been pretty shambolic. That start has just certainly hindered us. But it's crazy to think we are 17 points behind Rangers, despite the fact we've lost as many games as them, which is madness. But if you look at it, if we can win our games in hand, we would have the exact same record of Hearts in third place, and I'd fancy us to take them on in a one-on-one. And it's mad to think as well, this was going to be the season I thought, done, win the league, and we'll be fine after coming so close last year. But as I say, I'm going to keep playing it until I win a league title. The job is the Champions League idea get canned, but I'm hoping, as I say, to get it done before FM20 drops into everybody's life. If not, I'll still do the videos. I still want to have that sitting on YouTube, that win the league tomorrow to end it all. What's also not helping is, fair enough, Morton have got their Tycoon. That's not really affected us so far. Aberdeen now have a Tycoon. Fantastic. So we're up against Celtic, we're up against Rangers, and we're up against the financial resource of Aberdeen and Morton. Aberdeen made some business on the deadline day. You can see there the fees started getting paid there. For Luka Ivanisevic, then Renon, Che Cooper, Jukanovic and Mukundus, eventually spending 17 million. Great. So we're up against that. Fantastic. Of course, Brandon Mayer as well. So they'll be a massive threat going forward. Starting to pay a bit more wage-wise, as you can see with some of the new signings, so that's going to be difficult. Our business wasn't a lot. One thing we have confirmed and is done, Mark Farquhar will be joining us in a permanent deal, so after all his loan spells, have him in next year, and I've only seem to be declining, which is worrying. But he's been pretty good for us the seasons we've had him on loan. In fact, we've had him on loan every year since 2022, so effectively he's been a senior player for us since then. So after 5 loan spells, he'll be joining permanently. And Aidan Fitzpatrick will be going to Millwall, just isn't anywhere near the team, so may as well let him go. Try to bring in Steve Harrison from Man United, just a good guy to sit in front of the defence. In terms of how we done in this window, Armida was the only guy that came in. Well, there's one goal, which was an absolute rasper, so it's good to have him in. In terms of outs, I tried to get rid of as many as possible, but the only person who went for money was Stephen Finn, 7 million to Jennebuck in the South Korean League, I believe, I want to say. Likes of that, Stephen Dowie, Scott Ogilvie, Jimmy Ferguson, Roddy Baxter, Leo O'Donnell, and Eamon Brophy are all out loans. So, yeah, the thing is, though, our finance is only 6 million. That is basically covering wages that we are paying, which still, are massive. So here's the big one. We've got to cover December and January. Let's get cracking. Started off with my Hearts, thought this could be the turning point. 1-0 through Kasper Dolberg, and they score in 90+2. Fantastic. Aberdeen at home, 0-0. Very, very poor game. Fenerbahce at home, 45+3 gave us a win. Qualification to the last 32 of the Europa League. For some reason in this save, I keep getting absolutely brutal draws in the Scottish Cup and usually in Europe as well. Didn't change. Get Chelsea coming up. So that'll be an out. It's just going to be participation award and that'll be it. Very lucky away to St Mirren, a 90+2 goal from Kasper Dolberg gave us 3 points. And then that Old Firm double header I was hoping to try and get the 6 points from resulted in 0. A Vincent Janssen double for the visitors before Mark Farquhar. A late consolation. Celtic were close again. Mikey Johnson scoring, Massimo Adesso for us for Manders and Bio with a goal again, 90+2. Very familiar. 0-0 draw followed against Dundee, utter trash, and since then we tweaked the system a little bit and we're starting to get some results. Let's hope that this is the kickstart to our season. Hibs away, a bogey ground, 2-0 up after 5 minutes, Dolberg with a double. Mason Bennett pulls one back, but Glenn Middleton makes it 3-1. 2 good mid-season friendlies, Chris Cadden's testimonial against Legia Warsaw. No idea how that works out. a 4-3 win to Freiburg with my hero, Oliver Batista Meyer. I've had a few clubs, Larne, and I have him at Plymouth as well. Interesting to see him pop up. Hibs in the Scottish Cup 4th round once we came back from the winter break. Mita Stevic with a goal, the only goal in a 1-0 victory there. St Johnstone away were 1-0 down for Jean-Pierre T. For Mita Stevic with 2 goals, 1 in each half, gave us the 3 points. Morton visited in the Ladbrokes Premiership and it was Turnbull, Dolberg and Milton with the goals. A 3-0 win. We're travelling to Hearts, a very difficult ground, and Scott Tennant scores against us again before Mustafa Amiri comes off the bench to score. Can only be described as an absolute rasper. So that was class to see. And then Dundee United, very, very lucky. Leading the first minute through, Stevic, Fleming made it 1-1 from a free kick, an absolute screamer. 2-0 up on 2-1 up, in 80 minutes through Glenn Middleton before Henry Orbuny made it 2-2. And then in 90 plus 2 again, it was Mitar Stevic with a goal, giving us all 3 points. Now today is the Scottish Cup and then Europe, so the likelihood is we'll get Europe out of the way shortly. We need to try and get some victories, although that run there, Dundee United, Rangers, Celtic, Dundee, that march is going to be absolutely horrible. Not looking forward to that at all. So the aim is to try and get third place. Most of all, just make sure we're in the top 6. We could end up making an arse this, not making the top 6, which would be shocking, but I need to make sure we're in Europe next year. If we can get that third place, a high qualification place in the Europa League, I think we need to win the Scottish Cup because Celtic have been eliminated, so I'd want us to try and at least make sure we get that group stage spot, so we don't need to rely on any sort of qualifier. But we are looking likely to be seeded because we do have a good coefficient when we are second seeds in our group, despite having the likes of Fenerbahce in it, so I'm a wee bit optimistic. I know the season's went a bit tits up, but we'll see what happens as we crack on. We've had a bit of an injury crisis as well. We are starting to get a few people back. Basically, I've had to start bringing up some of the reserve and youth players, but you can see a lot of them get pretty decent potential as well. Usually if you're 2-3 star, you're going to make it here. But basically, if I can find them, Craig Atkin had to play a couple of games at the back. He's pretty decent, but I mean, it's a lot of pressure on a 17-year-old boy playing centre back. But that's your team. Let's just kick on. Missing this one, Dolberg and Turnbull injury. Murray's missing as well, Kayembe and Lee Mallon if they're senior. But it's not an excuse. They were playing, they were fine, and we were struggling, so it's not really an excuse. But that's interesting. You look at that team. 9 new gens start. Only Greg Taylor and Ryan Porteous are real players there compared to our opponents. So you've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4 new gens. Interesting as well that Mackay on the left hand side has somehow made himself back into the first team. He was kind of looking likely he was going to leave. But we are given opportunities. Grant Johnson, the youngster that's come through our academy, he'll get a start on the centre of the park instead of where David Turnbull would play. So, you know, we are starting to go back to the youngster route. Obviously, the ones that came up straight away that were part of this young team we're going to build didn't make it. It's just one of those things. Donaldson, Innes, Biarfa, all those young new gens that can follow 4 or 5 star potential just wasn't good enough. Whether that's down to me not giving them the right opportunities or whatnot, we'll have to remain to be seen, but it just didn't work. And there you go. One scores Grant Johnson, his first goal of the season, an absolute screamer from outside the box. We can see that some youngsters not making it. Scott Thompson does make the bench, although with the quality we are bringing in, his chances are probably going to get slimmer and slimmer. I think it's a big case of, you know, 4-star, 5-star potential youngsters at the level Motherwell were at the start, but you know, this is where Motherwell are at now, and the level that they can get to is not quite where we need them to get to. But it's one of those things. That happens. Yeah, again, encouraging in the cup, a bit worrying that Amiri has an injury, potential for injury. That's a bit worrying. So what I like for like then, and it'll just be Glenn Middleton come out and play on the left hand side. I would prefer to play Amiri through the middle, but the Forum Stevic has been on, he's kind of upped his game a little bit after the recruitment of Amiri. So it's been Middleton that's kind of dropped out, although saying that Lewis Watson's not been great on the right hand side. I've been trying to punt him so I can go with Cadden again in the right, but that is what it is. You can see we're still competitive against these teams, we can still beat a lot of them. just for some reason, just the goals were not flowing. We do play quite a defensive tactic, 4-5-1, although I do always try and say it's a 4-3-3. Johnson gets his second, the set piece from Middleton, and Grant Johnson with a header, so that's good. He was one that was hyped up with a lot of potential, had a couple of loan spells out, was out at Morton last year. And I'm really hoping the boy can kick on, because he could be a good for us. Ballin, Farquhar, Nicol, he's got the option out wide if they find him. That's poor. Danny Gomez is now in. And good save from Salo, Motherwell goal. But that's one of those things, Nicol's another young boy, maybe not quite through the academy. He was one that was recruited in. I think it was Dundee we got him from, but he's got to be performing better than that. He wants to make a first team regular appearance here. He is, as I say, pretty much playing because of the issue with Kayembe. We're going to make our second sub after this one. Greg Taylor's a bit fatigued, so it'll be Paul Green. Or McKelly youngster that'll come on. Here's Vanisic to Mefta. McKelly, he's going to cut, and he's always an inside forward. Ambitious there, but Greg Taylor will come off with his fatigue issues, and also Watson has been poor, and we'll go with Chris Cadden on that right hand side. So that'll be our changes. Let's just hope they see the game out, and hope we can finally have a positive episode and finally maybe a wee cup run. It would be quite mad, if we end up finishing like 5th or 6th or even lower, still make 2 cup finals. Of course, winning that League Cup, Farquhar with the header will be crazy, considering at the start of the save it was the opposite. We were pretty decent in the league, playing the spectacular, but we were terrible in any form of competition. We couldn't even get the group stages of the Betfred because we just didn't take it. I'm going to say seriously, but we just weren't really ready for it. In comparison now, we're straight into the second round, straight into pretty competitive games, and the players get the fitness they need for pre-season games. Here's Farquhar, looks for Stevic. That's a shocking on goal from De Salvo, and we'll take that. It's a wee bit of luck we don't usually seem to get in this FM. Let's see if we make it 4. Oh, there's going to be a chance to pull one back. Of course, there goes a clean sheet bonus. Di Carpentry, I'll try and pronounce it as that, with the goal of the substitute. The main thing is, it's not going to spoil our day, as Cadden is unlucky there. Tackle from Mason. Progression to the quarterfinals of the competition, I believe, is an away tie. We'll go back in here, because the draw has been made, because we were the later tie. Celtic, as you see, are losing to Raith Rovers, and that is going to see us take on, drumroll, Morton. So, Greenock Morton away in the quarter-final to make the semi-finals. As I say, with Morton, just to go by wages, you can see here, Kieran Freeman, they're trying to get rid of Max Sanders. There's some other players that haven't really kicked on, but they've got a lot of good Scottish young players there as well, like Andy Irvine, Mark Leonard, just to name 2. Some decent players in there as well. The former Barca youngster. That's mad. Barcelona B to Morton. There you go. Tariq Foss is in there. Ellis Chapman sounds like he's quality. I might even look to bring him into Motherwell. If a deal can be done, because I really enjoyed him at Plymouth. And a couple of good new gens there as well. Terry Millen. Certainly some good raw attributes. But yeah. No, we've won them. We're O'Donnell. But it took Max Broken for us as well. That must not be overlooked. That is interesting, it's just adds an extra wee dimension. As I say, they have their Tycoon they've had for a wee while. Ao Zaiwen, and Aberdeen's Tycoon, if we go to them. Matteo Zupinger. So 2 Tycoons and a 12-team league, plus Rangers and Celtic, obviously they are resources from the consistent high attendances, match day revenues, and of course European money that we need to try and sink our teeth into. But that is it for this particular episode. Hopefully you can join us in a positive note, but we are in a good run of form. Hopefully we can bring you a Scottish Cup semi-final if we beat Morton, and hopefully Chelsea don't damage our morale too much. But just watching, much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time for some more The Young Team. Bye bye.